Welcome to Chris Veve Journey, where I take you on a trip to Veve, always as an adventurer, never as a financial advisor, so please invest with caution. Today we try to make it a pretty quick episode, at least for my standards. I'm usually way over the 10-minute mark, like most YouTubers, but there's still a lot of people that actually watch my content, so thanks for being here and thanks for coping with a long time. That's awesome. So I will talk about two personal things. One personal thing, then a pretty interesting news, and the third one is about the drop we will have on Tuesday. So first things first, let me show you on my phone. Okay, so big thank you to one of my German friends here. We are on the message group together, and he actually just gave me this awesome comment from the Captain America drop. I was looking for hours for the right one for me to cop, and I didn't find the one I wanted to have. Like, none of the mints I had in mind were available. That was a little bad. I mean, one was available, but that was a few $1,000, so I'm out of that one. Yeah, and then he just hit me up and told me, yeah, let me get your QR code and I will send you the piece. Super grateful. That is now my favorite piece in my collection, just for the fact that that it was gifted to me just for doing the YouTube stuff and talk on the message boards and whatever. So a big thank you again here. I also did thank him on my German video, but yeah, big thank you. I'm super happy. It's so cool. I don't know. I have no words. It's just awesome. So that's the first thing. Second thing, it actually happened. The Necronomicon, whoops, that's the messages, whoops. Yeah, that was German. That couldn't have been too interesting. So, yeah, whatever. Yeah, the Necronomicon. Let's take a look at that one. It's happening. It's actually happening. I can't believe it did happen. But it is, in fact, opening. I don't know where that rumor was coming from, and I thought it would not be happening because this basically means they did update the model. This is not just any extra that was unlocked. Like, this is seriously safe. I was looking at the model for a few minutes. I was checking it out. The model before, there's geometry there that wasn't there in the first place. I'm 99% sure that there is differences in the model itself. Aside from having different lighting, and it even looks like it's different texture on the outside, right? I don't know. It's definitely a different model. So that means they switched the model, which also means they are not acting like some of the other NFTs where you say, okay, you can't change the NFTs because it's it's secured through a hash or whatever. I'm not too technical. I can't explain how this works. I just know there are possibilities to make sure that these NFTs can't be changed after the fact, but this one is. And I don't even think it's a bad news. To be honest, even if you were able to actually save these pieces in the blockchain itself, which is not possible for now, but even if it were possible, what would you be doing with the files? Like, it's not like you can just open up Windows, open these files and have a 3D file. You need an environment to open that thing in. And that's usually not an open source code. So that's you will always need the Veve environment for it, most likely. I mean, maybe at some point we get some kind of open source technology, like for 3D programs you have Blender, that's a whole 3D program package, and yeah, that's for free, that's open source and everyone can mess with it. But I don't see us having that soon, at least with licensed stuff. So getting all this stuff on OpenSea will be a great thing. Awesome. We will have a lot of people come in and find Veve and sales will be much quicker, easier, more interesting. All that stuff is true, but to use it, I think you will always need either Veve app or Veve program on the computer as soon as we got that, like the Veveverse. So, and I think it's a good thing. I don't even think it's a negative thing at any stretch of the imagination, because what's bad about it, right? It means your stuff gets updated. You can have like a Halloween extra like today with this book actually opening. I was 100% sure nothing would happen. Really, I was totally sure after I saw the geometry on the thing and thought no. But it even downloaded new files, so that's why I'm so sure about it. I was just looking at the thing and now it even downloaded a new file package and looks completely different. So that surely is a new file. Interesting, but also great. Imagine having the DeLorean in the Veveverse at some point and you can drive it. And maybe in 15 years, there's still the Veveverse and it's bigger than we can imagine and we actually spend lots and lots of time in there. At some point, you want them to be able to get a photorealistic model of the car into the program, right? You don't want to have it like it is now forever. You want an updated look, more realistic look. And that's actually possible when they keep them editable. So that's great. Okay, so much about that. Don't just run off now and buy that thing. I guess prices will spike for a short amount of time and then we will see them go back again. I mean, as cool as it is, it's not like super special, right? And it's only just a few, that's just a few pages actually. You can't even really flip through them. At least not, I mean, I don't own it. I just opened the file in the store. So it doesn't look like I can switch around, but who knows? Maybe a good time to sell. I have no idea. Maybe not. I don't know. Don't take me as a financial advisor. Like I told you, I'm not a financial advisor. So yeah, let's get over to the browser view so we can see the next drop, Tuesday 8 a.m. Again, our next comic drop. And it's something we already know. It's the Ultimates 1 comic book. We got that on accident when we bought the Fantastic Four 21, Ultimate Fantastic Four 21. So, and I think this is a very interesting topic here because this is the third Ultimate Universe book we have in a short amount of time. Because we have now Ultimates 1, we had Ultimate Fantastic Four 21, and we had Ultimate Fallout 4. So the thing with the Ultimate Universes, everything is called Ultimate. It's really annoying, but it makes sense. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about it with the MCP program, right? The MCP, I don't know. I'll try again. The Master Collectors program is designed so that you would actually follow along to a series, right? You don't have sets, you don't need all the rarities, you just need a readable copy of each number that was released of a series. So maybe the idea is to get NFT people into the comic books. If you would try that, that would make so much sense to do it this way. So why is that? So first of all, Ultimate Comics really tune in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Disney Plus show stuff. Like they really took a lot from the Ultimate Universe. So what is the Ultimate Universe? If you haven't seen my video before, I give you a quick recap. The Ultimate Universe went on from 2002 up until 2015. At that time, we had two universes side by side releasing stories in comic book form by Marvel. So there was the regular 616 universe comic line. That was the one we always had. 6 years of history. And you could read that. But they wanted to attract new readers, and the main problem was how to get a new reader into something like Spider-Man that had such a big history that it is hard to access. So they came up with the Ultimate Universe, where they have basically the same characters in general, but without all the baggage. You would just say, okay, the Ultimates, like this is the Ultimates, which is basically the Avengers. I don't know why they call it the Ultimates. They should have went with Ultimate Avengers or whatever. But it's basically the Avengers. And they retold the stories of the Avengers in a modern form. And they said, like, forget all the history. This is a different universe, same characters, but in a more modern form. It's a more modern universe. It's a younger universe. And that was a pretty good idea. In general, I mean, it's pretty good. It's so much more accessible. It's so much more fun. The book we get now is basically the retelling of the first story arc of Captain America. So that's interesting. So you have interesting books to attract new readers, get them fast into the storylines, and you have a bonus program that will reward you actually collecting every issue of the series. So that makes sense if they do it. The first run of the Ultimates went for 13 issues. So they could release those 13 issues, maybe one issue a month, which would mirror kinda the way comics are distributed nowadays. And after that, they could make a break with the Ultimate. They could release something else and then go back to the Ultimates again, because that's how it was released. Also, they did the first run. It was done by Mark Miller and Brian Hitch. They released the first 13 pieces. They had a lot of delays during the time, so it wasn't a monthly thing. But Veve could go, make it a monthly thing, have the first 13 released. You need to collect all the 13 books to actually be able to read the whole story and to collect the bonus points for the Master Collector program, which makes sense. Then they could do a break, and then after quite some time they could go with the Ultimates Volume 2. That's another 13 issues they could go with. That would be way more interesting. Like, for example, when they go with Amazing Spider-Man. So that's the first one we have now. We have Amazing Spider-Man, we have 3 issues. We now, if you own all three issues, that's Amazing Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man 50 and 361. If you have any rarity of those 3 and all 3 together, you're already collecting the 5 bonus points daily, because those points are rewarded retrospectively. So that makes sense. Retroactively, I guess that's a word. So, but actually reading Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man from issue 1 is a hard task. That's I mean, those stories are just dated. If you're so much into comics like I am, you can find some interesting stuff in reading these old stories. But if you're not, it's really hard. They are just not on par with the stories of today. Today's stories are so much richer in every aspect. So they would be boring as hell to read the old school books. So the Ultimates are pretty modern still, even if they are almost 20 years old. But that is still modern. It's still a modern art of storytelling, modern art style, digital colors already. So that would be interesting. That's a great idea to get in new readers. And I think that's the plan. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Maybe it's just a coincidence, or for whatever reason, that's exactly the books they have the rights to. I don't know. But yeah, I guess it's a pretty good idea. So let's talk about the book itself. Yeah, the image in the middle should be the regular cover, because it was the regular cover of the book. So I guess that's the common. Then on the right, I would guess it's the ultra rare and secret rare. I'm not sure which one is which, but I guess so. So those 2 images are from the book itself. Those are splash pages in the book. The first one on the right, I'm not sure if that was also in the book. I can't remember, and if it's not, it's possibly a variant, but I'm not sure. Totally not sure, I can't tell you. The second from the left is also an image from the book. So those are just splash pages in the book they used as variant covers, which is also interesting because I noticed that we also just get the Veve exclusive variants for classic books, for old books. All other books, they don't have a Veve exclusive cover, which would also make sense if you say, okay, when we have classic books, we bring them with Veve exclusive covers because those won't be running stories and most people don't have to collect those to read them. But when you want to read them, you get variant covers that are not special. So that way, you know what I mean? You get two different reasons to collect. You will collect classic stories even if you are not able to collect enough of those to read them as a full story, but you would get them for the exclusive covers. While with Ultimates, you would have modern stories and you would get enough books that you can actually read the whole storyline, but you miss out on any special variant covers. But that's just something I noticed for now. Maybe it's just a coincidence. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So lastly, maybe a small info. I was on the Jim Lee live stream today, and yeah, Jim Lee is the co-publisher of DC Comics, and I was giving out some news lately about the DC and Palm NFTs that you were able to get for free when you were registering for the DC fandom event by mid-October. And I had a few videos and a lot of people were checking out my videos because I wanted answers, and we don't have much answers. So I was asking if we get single issue with those NFTs or if you would get complete paperbacks. And I asked that because most people are pretty sure these will contain comic books. From the answer that I got from Jim Lee, it doesn't look like that we are going to get any comics with those NFTs. It actually looks like we are just getting the NFT the way it is. Like there's a comic cover and that's on a storage device, data storage device, and that's it. I don't know. Maybe down the line, maybe at the beginning of next year, when Palm and DC start to release more NFTs, maybe then there's the utility in those NFTs to gain access to some other drops. I don't know. Maybe get a I don't know, some kind of code that you can get stuff cheap. I have no idea, but it really does look like that you won't be able to actually get any use out of those NFTs in regards to reading a comic book or whatever. Which brings the question if we maybe do get DC comic books on Veve. Or maybe not, because DC likes to keep everything in their own hands. I don't know. But it's interesting. If you want to see what the co-publisher Jim Lee said, you need to go to Jim Lee's Twitch channel and on his latest video, and then look around the 40-minute mark. Maybe a little bit before the 40-minute mark. That's where the question comes up and you can hear his answer, and yeah, that's interesting. I have no idea what that means, but we will see. We have to wait and see. On my part, okay, I will wait and see, but I don't care too much for those NFTs anymore. I will have to see. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe they do get some other kind of utility, but I was, like most people, really looking for having an actual book there. But okay, it doesn't matter. So much for today's video. I hope it was fun. I hope you learned something or at least heard something new. If you did, it would be great if you leave a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, would be awesome to have you as a subscriber if you enjoy the content. And yeah, if you do, I will see you soon. I wish you much success on the drop, but I guess I will do another video tomorrow first. So have fun, guys. Good luck.